Hello and welcome to the first Euro 2024 fantasy video on this channel. Today we are going to be looking at the best chip strategy heading into Euro fantasy into the summer. I don't want to jump too far into making too many videos right now because obviously half the squads haven't actually released yet, and I don't want to be making like best cheap players and stuff, and we don't actually know if they are going to be playing or if they're even going to be included in the squad. So I feel like the chip strategy is a good one to look at because we've got the fixtures already, so we can kind of go as early as we want on that one. Before we get started, I do have a mini league which has now been set up. You can join that below. The code is just below my face on the screen, and there's also an auto join link in the description as well. Also, if you're looking for the spreadsheet that I was using in the most recent live stream, that is also going to have a link down in the description to join that one. You're not going to be able to edit it, but as changes come along, I will be able to change it, and it should update if you end up using the link. So that is that. We are obviously looking at the Wildcard and Limitless chips today as well. So if you don't know what the Wildcard and the Limitless are, a Wildcard basically is allows you to make free unlimited transfers while remaining in your 100 million budget. Obviously, if you play FPL already, you know what this is. It's essentially the same thing. Any player you transfer in will stay in your squad once that match day has finished. So if you're going to use your wildcard in, for example, match day 2, your team is going to be the same for match day 3, unless you obviously use your limitless chip in match day 3 as well. So anytime you use the wildcard, that those transfers are locked in for all future match days. For the limitless chip, it's a little bit different. Obviously, when you play this, it allows you to make free unlimited transfers as well, but you do get an unlimited budget, which is really good for targeting those really easy fixtures when lots of teams, mainly the expensive teams, have a lot of those easy fixtures. So you get an unlimited budget for one match day only, and then your team will go back to what it was. So for example, if you were going to use your wildcard in match day 2 and your limitless in match day 3, your wildcard team would be the team in match day 4, but obviously we don't get unlimited transfer. We do get unlimited transfers heading into the round of 16, but I don't want to make things too confusing. Your limitless you get for one match day only, and your wild card's going to stick. So that's basically what it is. Any of these chips, both of the chips, can't be used in match day 1 or match day 4. Obviously, with match day 1 as now basically, and we don't we already have unlimited transfers to use, so you can't use any of your chips there. And it's the same for match day 4 heading into the round of 16. You're going to get unlimited transfers before that as well. So your chips can be used in any other match day, whether that's match day 2, 3, match day 5, 6 and 7. Obviously 5, 6 and 7 being the quarterfinal, semi-final and final. So in order to decide when the best time to use our chips are, we're going to have to look at the easiest fixtures, when the easiest fixtures are coming about. So I've picked up some target fixtures here for match day 1, match day 2 and match day 3. So obviously with match day 1 you're not going to be able to use your chips, but that's just kind of there just to give you a rough idea of when could be a good idea if you want to continue on your match day 1 team. The biggest thing to note is match day 3 has some very big fixtures in there. So I think automatically you're looking at it and thinking England easy fixture, Spain easy fixture, Portugal easy fixture, and then France, Belgium both have semi-easy fixtures, and you could even argue that Germany and Holland have some pretty decent fixtures in there as well. So straight away you're looking at 7 big teams with expensive players with some pretty easy fixtures. So straight off the bat you're looking at it and thinking match day 3 is going to be the best time to use the limitless, because obviously you want to maximise the budget, going for all the expensive players from all of these big teams, and getting the easy fixtures from them as well. Even when you're looking at the wildcard as well, looking at match day 2, the easiest fixtures are coming from some of the cheaper teams like Croatia, Serbia, Ukraine, Czech Republic, all having easier fixtures, and obviously with these teams the players are a bit less expensive. So straight away we are thinking the Limitless looks like a pretty good chip to use in match day 3, and the wildcard looks like a pretty decent chip to use in match day 2, because obviously with match day 2 we've got the easier fixtures and are going to be able to keep in with the budget. But however, when we take away those single fixtures, we're now just left with teams that have 2 favourable fixtures over match day 1, 2 and 3. So again, you can see we're mainly looking at match day 2 here, because we can kind of isolate match day 3 and say that is going to be our day for limitless. I think I would not be trying to save that for the later knockout the knockout rounds. Matchday 3 definitely looks like the time to use the Limitless. So we're looking at Matchday 2 here, and you can see the teams with 2 favourable fixtures in Matchday 2 is going to be Germany, Portugal, Ukraine and Belgium. So you can also look at Matchday 1 and also see the same 4 teams. So Germany are in there with a game against Scotland, Portugal are in there with a game against Czech Republic, Ukraine are in there against Slovakia, and Ukraine are in there against Romania, and Belgium are also in there against Slovakia. So you could possibly make an argument that you can make your team on match day 1 and specifically cater to those 4 teams, and that way you can save your wildcard in match day 2 because you're going to have players from these 4 teams in match day 2 that are going to have pretty favourable fixtures. So if you are someone who does want to save the wildcard, maybe for like the semi-finals, if there's a lot of upsets, it's possible that you could save it and target these 4 teams and still have a pretty decent match day 2 and be able to save that wildcard for later. So I think we can safely say that we have determined 2 pretty decent chip strategies here. We've got Wildcard in Matchday 2 and Limitless in Matchday 3, and then we've got Limitless in Matchday 3 and then keeping the Wildcard for a later round. So both strategies both have Limitless in Matchday 3. I don't think there's any argument on when the best time to use that is. At 100% is going to be Matchday 3, so it's really just when you want to use your Wildcard. Do you want to use it in Matchday 2, or do you want to save it for the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, or the final? The problem with saving it for those later rounds is people start to kind of have the same team. As a UCL fantasy player myself, heading into the final with Real Madrid and Dortmund, I've already got all of the best Real Madrid players in my team: Vinicius Jr., Bellingham, Rodrigo, and all the best Dortmund players in my team. So anyone who's saved their wildcard for the final is basically going to be wildcarding into the same team as me, who used my chip earlier in the tournament. So for me, I think using the wildcard as early as possible is the best option. That's just someone who's played UCL Fantasy for a couple of years, the same format as this obviously. I've always preferred to use the wildcard in the earlier stages, just to make sure you've got the best fixtures for the easier fixtures, which obviously happen in the groups. So with Wildcard 2 and Limitless 3, you're setting your team up specifically for Match Day 1. Obviously, you can set up a team for Match Day 1, then you have your Wildcard to set up a team just for Match Day 2, and then obviously you've got your Limitless to set up a team specifically for Match Day 3. Then you're relying on your transfers after the round of 16, but you do get quite a few transfers, so normally you aren't really stuck, and obviously the subs bench gets less and less more important as there's less match days. So even if you can just field 11 players for the semi-finals, etc., isn't really the end of the world. So this is why I do like to do it that way. Wildcard in Matchday 2 specifically to target the easier fixtures for the cheaper teams. Obviously, we've already mentioned that. Limitless in Matchday 3 to get all of the expensive players with easier fixtures. Then we have the other chip strategy, which is obviously Limitless in Matchday 3 and then saving that wildcard. So you're setting your team up on Matchday 1. If you're going to use this strategy, you're going to set your team up for Matchday 1, specifically loading up on players from Germany, Portugal, Belgium and Ukraine, because obviously they have pretty good fixtures in Matchday 1 and also Matchday 2. And then obviously you're using that Limitless in Matchday 3 to get all of the expensive players with the easier fixtures. And then obviously you'll be saving your wild card for later rounds just in case there's any upsets and you need to get rid of 8-9 players. So in a situation where you're using the wildcard 2 and then Limitless in Matchday 3, I've put together an ideal wildcard team if you were going to use this strategy. So we've got the target fixtures on the left here, and then a team in here obviously within the 100 million budget. So Croatia, Serbia, Ukraine and Czech Republic obviously with the most easiest fixtures. Croatia, I went for Modric, I went for Sosa, I went for Livakovic, so we're tripling up on Croatia. Serbia, we've got Mitrovic, we've got Milinkovic-Savic as well, so we're doubling up on Serbia. Ukraine, I've went for Mudryk and Mykolenko. Could easily go for Lunin as well if you wanted in there. This was just a quick draft that I put together. And then Czech Republic, I don't think we've actually got any Czech Republic players in there apart from Kovar in goals. Then obviously Belgium against Romania, we've got the triple up of Lukaku, De Bruyne, Castagne. No Austrian players in there. And then looking at Portugal against Turkey and Germany against Hungary, we've got Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes, Cancelo, and we've also got Mittelstadt for Germany as well. So that is what I would consider the ideal wildcard team. Obviously we're still 3-4 weeks away from the tournament, so this 100% will not be the exact Wildcard 2 team that I would go for, but just to kind of give us a rough idea of what you can do, this is what I would go for if it was a Wildcard 2 team. And if you weren't on this strategy, say you were saving that wild card for later, I think obviously we're going to be looking at this matchday 1 team, and we're going to be targeting these 4 fixtures with pretty decent matchday 2 fixtures. So here we've got the pretty much the same team, is quite a similar team, and we've got the 2 fixtures there. So the one at the top is the matchday 1 fixture, and the one below is going to be the matchday 2 fixture. So when you're using this strategy and saving that wild card, we want to be tripling up on Belgium, Germany, Ukraine and Portugal. So for Belgium, I've went for Lukaku, Bruno and Lukaku, De Bruyne and Castagne. Again, very nice fixtures for them. For Germany, the triple up is Mittelstadt, Gundogan and Wirtz. Again, 3 very nice fixtures. I have actually missed out that second one. I think Wirtz and Gundogan have the wrong team underneath them, so they're going to have Hungary. With Ukraine, the triple up is Dovbyk, Mudryk and Lunin. Probably the best triple up you can get for the Ukrainians. And then for Portugal, you're getting Czech Republic in matchday 1. Again, the same triple up of Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes and Cancelo. So a pretty similar team. Again, when you're going for the triple up on all 4 of these teams, that's going to cover 12 players. So you're going to be left with 3 players. And you can see there's 3 players in here that do have tough fixtures in matchday 2. What is worth noting is that you do get those 3 transfers as well. So you've got 3 players who aren't going to be from the triple ups from these 4 teams. And those 3 players you can use basically to target that matchday 1 fixture. And then you can use your 3 transfers to get those 3 guys out and go for whoever you want really in matchday 2. The only problem with this is you are missing out on some big matchday 1 fixtures. So by going for this triple up, obviously you can't fully focus on matchday 1 because you're going to end up having a pretty hard team, a pretty difficult team in matchday 2 fixture wise. But you're gonna in matchday 1 you're really going to be missing out on England against Serbia, so the likes of Harry Kane, Phil Foden, Jude Bellingham. You're not going to have them against Serbia in matchday 1. France against Austria is another one. Mbappe you're not going to have. Theo Hernandez, Griezmann. Netherlands against Poland if you wanted any of those guys. Turkey against Georgia. And Denmark against Slovenia as well. For Turkey, I have got Gunok in here, so you can use those 3 players to kind of go for any of these guys. Obviously, if you wanted someone like Mbappe, you could go for Mbappe, maybe Mbappe over Ronaldo. Just know that your transfer in matchday 2 is going to be Mbappe over Ronaldo, and you kind of need to jig the team around elsewhere. So it is starting to get quite difficult, so I apologise if you're losing it here. When you get into it, it does end up really hard to describe and kind of explain things, but it is still a decent option. Again, you saw with both the teams, it is pretty similar teams. The only issue is you're kind of locking in your transfers here, and you could end up with a not the best matchday 1 team if you really want to target these 4 fixtures on the left. But that is going to be the end of the video. Hopefully you understood it enough. I tried to explain it to the best of my ability, and hopefully it was or it got through pretty well. But that is going to end off the video. Please make sure to like it if you did enjoy. Make sure to subscribe if you're new, because there's going to be so much more Euro stuff coming over the next few weeks. Let me know down in the comments if there was any confusing things, and I'll try to clear it up as best as possible. For me personally, I do think Wildcard 2 and Limitless 3 is going to be the best option, purely because you can fully target the group stage fixtures, and I think you do get enough transfers later on in the rounds to really sort yourself out if there is too many upsets. So that would be my pick. I would go for Wildcard 2 and Limitless 3. But once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.